Yay, yay, yay. Welcome, welcome. And happy new moon. Oh my goodness. What energy is coming through right now? It's quite different than the full moon oracle 2 weeks ago. And I think that's the beauty of eclipse season is that, and you can really feel it. It's kind of between two eclipses, a lot occurs. So I am so grateful for you to be joining me on this new moon solar eclipse, the second eclipse of the season. And this eclipse, right, June 10th, the exact date, takes us way until like the fall. I think it's fall or winter. I think the next one's in December. If I'm incorrect, please, you can let me know. So this is almost the jump start for a much larger now cycle as well until next eclipse season. So very excited to share what is coming through, what has been coming through. And if you are new to my channel, I am Josie Amoni. Pleased to meet you. I work with people who wish to grow confidence and trust in their body and spirit connection. So know that this collective oracle session, you're welcome to share any questions or things that come up during the session, but also to know that this is in the collective oracle. It is also for those still the self journey. And I was very, very guided to almost have a disclaimer to say that in what will come through today, because one thing that is showing up is kind of when I say collective oracle, we might think that this is also pertaining to what is occurring within the whole, within the globe, more kind of collective occurrences. And so just wanted to be very clear that even though this is a group oracle session, it is still for the self journey. It is for the journey within self, within body, and in connection to spirit. So now that I got that clear, one thing as well that is coming through about that is that there is a lot of shadows, and we've been moving through a whole bunch of shadows within personal journey. And you'll start to see, if you kind of follow the oracle sessions that I share for new and full moon, that oracle for the self is a bit before what would be an oracle for the collective, like for the group, for a larger group of people. And why that is because what we journey through within self is then, of course, reflected and shared in what you might be reading on in the news, or what might be shown by larger groups of people and bigger occurrences. So the things that kind of we work through first on the individual, slowly, all that deep, beautiful self-work that people are doing will then ripple further out from that center, further into the communities and into the countries and into all of that. So the nice thing then about connecting to oracle like this is that you're prepared for the waves of what may occur, be it 28 days, be it a month later, 2 months later, 3 months later down the road in the larger scale. So, and hence specifically where I live, which is Canada has had a lot of shadow come up on the news, and certain really devastating things moving through to almost purge and clear the almost like the country itself is doing its shadow work. And if you remember, I think it was new moon last month when there was a very big call for us to start to do the shadow work. So as you can kind of see then, like, know that what you clear, what you process, what you transmute will slowly ripple out into larger ways of seeing things. And so by your personal work, then you are able and feel more capable of moving through potentially collective grief or collective shadows that arise. So that is what I'm very guided to share, even before I draw a card. How are you? Yay. I hope you have some water. You're welcome to light candle and connect to your spirit team, to connect to the earth, to connect to your body, to welcome this time to listen to your heart, to listen to how your body responds to this message, and to honor what you are ready for. Meaning, if certain parts of the message you respond and you're like, ugh, and you're not ready to dive into the shit, then don't, let that move. And when you're ready to connect at another time, you can maybe look at that. That's always the self-work, right? But we don't always have to literally think that every single time some type of caca or shit shows up, that we have to then dive right in. And that is very telling, because with the intensity that comes naturally in eclipse season, in the intensity that is naturally right now, the funniest thing is that all spirit is sharing is like, even though everything's amping up, even though everything might be intense, allow yourself to breathe, to slow down, to ground, right? And to still give yourself time to feel the responses that come, to feel and sense what you are right and ready to do, and to honor there's so many more cycles, right? And that's the joy of this journey of healing and growth. So nothing will ever have to be pushed under a rug or buried deep for a very long time. It will come up when you are ready. So with that, allow yourself to have some water, and know you can definitely just give yourself some nice deep belly breaths as well, just to give yourself time to center. Really, reading and connecting to guidance is a breathing practice. It's a presence practice. And so allowing the thoughts that may have been prior to this session, to know that you can let them move. Let them clear out of your mind for this moment. They can be addressed at another time. And if thoughts, memories, or sensations arise within the session, to make note of them, but to not to have to feel like you have to react to them immediately. This is a time and a moment to slow down, to let the past sift to the past, the future to sift to the future, and for you to simply practice being here now. Welcoming your heart, welcoming your body now. Welcoming your spirit now. Welcoming all of you and all that is now. Grounding your energy and directing it down with each exhale into the earth. connecting to our home. Honoring your emotional state, honoring what has brought you here now, and honoring the length of time you can stay. Beautiful. I've already welcomed in my team prior to the recording of the session, but I'm also guided to remind you that part of my team are protectors. So I welcome in the stone protectors and the guardians to protect this message. And to protect those who are listening and receiving. And may we continue to grow more protection from within. You can also at this time ask your heart to share with you and to share with the earth, to share with my team. Be it that you're watching now or on the replay, knowing that we can connect always through time. To share energetically that you wish to receive what can assist you on your journey and on your path now. Good. Welcome, welcome. Take as long as you need, still centering and breathing. You know, you can simply listen as well. I feel there's a definite expansion from those who are sharing and connecting at this point in time. In this point in time being presence. And I even shared in that centering that doesn't always necessarily mean just if you log in live, right? Even if you log in at another time and do that centering and connection, right? You are sharing the energy in the now. Guided, I brought out Psychic Tarot today by John Holland. And I feel that is where we will begin. Did I say that I thought there was going to be some expansion? Whew, they're like jumping out. Oh my goodness. Okay. Wow. 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 How have you been? Oh my goodness. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. First card that arose. Look at this beautiful card. Number 13, which is, of course, a divine feminine cycle, the cycle of the wise woman, transformation. And of course, you see this person with these incredible wings expanding beside, but that also their hand is on this wondrous stone, large face, this statue, right? So you kind of wonder, how large is this being? Is this the giant, or is, you know, is this a real life person, or is this how tiny? And I'm getting a lot from that, is that when transformation occurs, and we've been doing so much work in the past, gosh, year and a half now, that at times we might feel that transformation needs to have the same intensity as it has had in the past. And what is coming very clearly to share is they're going, get used to it. Get used to continuous transformation. Get used to continuous expansion. And the way that we get used to it then is to not then have it like rock the boat as much, for it not to feel as intense. Again, this word intense is coming up, intense process as it may have felt like in the past. That it becomes then a more easeful type of expansion that will allow you to honor your pace, your energy levels, and all of that. But it's neat, when you look at where, and I want to go really close, where this person is looking. What comes up? What comes up for you? Are they looking to the past? Are they looking to the future? Are they looking at something else that is, oh shit, I have to go there. I have to still get there. They see something in the distance that they might still have to go towards. Is there trepidation in that look? Is there uncertainty? Or is there a resolve? Knowing that they can fly there as easily as they so choose. That they can rest here with the protection of this beautiful stone person whenever they so choose. Wow, a lot is coming through from this card. In preparation for the new moon, I shared in my social media feeds to really, this is the time. This new moon oracle, it is the time to ask yourself what you want and to be clear, very clear with what you want, be it in 6 months, be it in a year. Of course, time is relative. So knowing, you don't have to be such a stickler on it being, but just kind of seeing more kind of like shorter goals or shorter wants, longer wants, right? And that type of thing. The time is now to share that. And I've never got such a strong nudge to really, really clearly say part of your new moon practices must be that type of intention setting. To go out into nature, to connect to your favorite grandmother tree. To share an offering in nature, to share an offering to the birds or the animals, to give gratitude for the chapter that is closed, the cycle that has closed with the first eclipse. And within these past 2 weeks, to see what has come up between full moon and new moon for you. What has come up and what might be kind of like, poking at you to go like, pay attention to me. And not just meaning like healing work or growth work, building the confidence, building the trust, but really like, what do you want? What do you want in your life? For in transformation, right? Like, just think of the butterfly, the caterpillar to the butterfly, which is shown, of course, in this image, this person with wings now. And think that, even though a butterfly, because they have wings, right? you're like, oh, they can fly, and a caterpillar's on the ground and they're moving really, really slowly. Like, I love watching caterpillars move. It blows my mind how slowly they go. And but then when you actually look at butterflies, it's not like they're speeding by like a bee, right? They also have a really gentle rhythm to how they fly. And so even though the transformation may make you feel that you might be flying more than you're on the ground, or that you are growing in ways and shifting from deep within you, shifting perspectives, shifting ways that you wish to live, shifting, every type of shift. That even in the shift, even in the transformation, you can still ride it gently, and there are places to rest. Be it a flower, be it a stone person, be it your bed. And during those rest periods, to allow yourself to still see forwards. There's a very strong nudge of looking forwards right now. And to trust that your shit list, and if you're new to this term, I share this with people who work with me, because we write down a lot of the intentions, but then, part of your healing work is to actually acknowledge your baggage, right? To acknowledge the stuff that you wish to heal and work through, be it however big it might be or however small. And so knowing that there's a very clear thing, because last year around this time, actually even a bit before, kind of spring to summer, there was a lot of emphasis on moving with the shit list, moving into deep healing work, right? Lots and lots of release and clearing and clearing and clearing and debunking and taking away the excess baggage and all of that stuff. And what I'm really getting within this new cycle that we're stepping into, from this eclipse to the eclipse that's closer to the end of the year, is that this is now the time to more so look forward. And that will be the healing work, is to heal what may not be allowing you to see what you want, to heal and to move through, the challenges around what you see further. And to trust that shit list, it's not going to be forgotten. It's not then that you're going to, during your forward trajectory, stop healing the caca. It's that the caca will naturally start to easily almost just like settle off, fluff off the wings as you move forward. So the focus and the focal point is to see what may also being asked by your mind, being asked by your current perspective, that what is not giving space within for you to see further for you. What are your wants and desires? And if nothing comes up around that, that's the work, right? And that work will assist naturally in healing and clearing all the other stuff, from the self-worth to the root wounds to the mother-father wounds, all those other things that naturally is all linked to whatever the cycle that we are in, what is being amplified by the nature cycle, by the sun, the moon, and the earth. Okay? So I'm also getting from this card, and it was neat, it even came in the centering, to be very clear that I have called in protection. So I am, and it's kind of like all over this card, from the jewel that the person that has on their forehead to this stone being that they're holding on to, is in times of transformation. And as someone who works with energy clearing, right? Whenever you do clearing work, cord cutting, any type of removal work from your energy field, you must protect. It's like clear, protect, clear, protect. They come hand in hand because your energy is shifted and you need to kind of reassemble your protection shield, your force field, your aura, all of that good stuff. Okay. So, and what naturally occurs in a transformation cycle is that you are naturally shifting. You're clearing, you're moving into a different form. And so the same thing applies. Protection is very important right now to allow yourself to move through this now new cycle, this really new chapter of your life, knowing that you are protected. And protection, like goodness, I could talk about it all day. I've been working with protection for lifetimes, really, and so I have a large amount of information to share on that. So don't worry, this is not going to become a school on protection. But what I can share is that if you feel protection is solely like the battleground, shields up, it's time to shift that and to remind yourself that we all have guardians, we all have protectors, that just wait for us to call them. Because if they were there all the time with their shields up, right, that wouldn't allow them a rest cycle, right? Having that type of shields up requires a lot of effort and a lot of energy. So a good practice is, even when you're going for a walk in the next kind of moon cycle, even, hey, if you do that new moon nature intention setting journey that I shared, of you going and giving offering and then stating what you want and what you are ready to receive, and your intention for like the 6 months to the year that is coming through now. Even on that, a good practice is as you walk in areas that are kind of busier, have more people, or have a bit more traffic, more different energy sources that you're traveling through, to call upon them, just so that you can start to sense what shifts within the body when you call upon your protection team. And over time, to start to foster and know, and the work that I do, a lot of it is basically reconnecting you to your natural protection that your body carries. So that then, if you think of it, you have this like extra help when needed, right? Whenever needed, you can call them and get that extra additional assistance. But on the regular basis, you're growing from within through your bones, through like the densest parts of your form. You're reminding your bones how they carry a deep, deep sense of energetic protection. And so if you're ever so guided to reach out about that, you're most welcome to, and I can talk way more about that in a personal guidance session. But yes, what is coming through with this is that since we are all going through such expansion in this cycle, is to really also protect. And protect will be not just your body, but your home, and then to allow that to further expand out, so that you feel safer in your body, feel safer in your home, feel safer in your community. And you'll continue to be able to grow and reach that out on the journey towards what you are intending. And that kind of bleeds into the next card. Like this, it's so wild. These 4 cards just flew out of the deck, which I knew I was like, okay, Spirit is being very clear. And this is, I guess, leading why also the protection. There's this spiritual strength. And you see, again, this incredible stone Buddha that is holding up, the space where this adept, the spiritual adept, is standing. There's this beautiful ring as well. Circles are very telling at the back of the card, which is really sharing of, like, if you think of that you're growing from within, right? And your center is here, of how, like, then that would be your energetic boundary, right? And so how you're walking around, that there, whenever you need to, you can call upon, right? These wondrous beings that can feel much larger than self to expand and extend out to that external boundary. So you don't always have to be on the defense, that you don't have to always feel like you're constantly trying to push away or make yourself safe from other things outside of you. And as you see, there's like a beautiful calm, right, in this gentleman. Like his eyes are even closed, right? So it's quite incredible. Like from there, all I'm getting is like, could you imagine walking down a busy street or, a place close to your home with your eyes closed and have that much trust that you are protected, that you are able to stand there and then even to take a step or two. I'm not saying like walk down the whole street. I probably would lose balance still, you know what I mean? But just taking a couple steps. And that's the beauty of new to full moon cycles, right? It breaks down our spiritual journey. It breaks down our path in just a couple steps. It just says just the next couple steps. That's all we really need to do. And so then when you get these big transformations and these big revelations and these big aha moments and oh my gosh, kawabanga, woo, right? That you're like, whoa, I have so much to do, or so many things are coming in, downloads galore, all of that type of stuff. You then check in and go, okay, the next couple steps. And that's the beauty of time cycles, is that it allows you just to take 1, 2, or 3 next actions and then to honor the space between, to honor the rest periods, to honor the preparation and the integration between these intentional actions. Because as we bring more awareness, as we bring more of the entirety that is us into each decision, into each action in our life, right? That is like, could you imagine being present for longer periods of time? It's a lot, right? And so as we are transforming into much more presence, much more capacity, we are asking also to strengthen that capacity. This is the training ground, right? And the beauty of spiritual journeys, the beauty of also the assistance of the sun, the moon, and the earth cycles, okay, is that they're never going to throw us into something and then go like, okay, do, right? There's just, it's a gradual, natural process. Time is much more fluid than we have sometimes been taught in being thrown into some things and going, oh my gosh, there's a deadline. And oh my goodness, I have to do this now. The time's running out. Right? That in your path and in the walk of your path, even if that is your natural tendency, right? Or if you live in a city, I know I have friends who live in like really intense energy cities and they love it because they're like, it helps them with their excitement level and all of that stuff. Even if that is the intensity of how you move through your life, it's still the next step is not the next step to the grocery store. The next step is like the next step on your path. And on your path is what is and how your heart is leading you on your journey of growth and healing. Growth, connecting more to you, connecting and being able to expand and share more of you, and healing, the caca list, right? And that caca list can go back generations. It can go back into lineage. So there's a bunch. I'm also getting, though, to be really clear about that this is a number 9 card, okay? And in the Psychic Tarot deck, this is actually this is a complete spiritual. I don't know if the color shows very well, but it's not as blue. It's more indigo. And so this is talking about spiritual path. It's honoring also that there has been quite a bit of completion, right? You've done a lot of work. Honor that you've done a lot of work. And it's not about going, oh, I'm tired, I'm done. Like our path, our spiritual path is our life path. So when a 9 comes, it's to also garnish going, what is my gauge of my strength and my trust in my path and my journey at this point? Knowing that I now can take a step or 2 forwards into a new cycle of my path. Share with me if there's any questions that are coming up. I'm just flowing a lot today, and the cards flow too. So I'm on a roll. Hence why I record them, because guidance tends to come sometimes a little faster than how I normally speak. So if ever at any time, and I love that thing about YouTube Live too, is that you could actually go back and then still watch the live. So you don't even actually have to watch it in the time that I'm speaking. So take your time with it. For there's another number 9 card, and this number 9 card is in the physical path, right? In the actual physical material, all of that good stuff, which of course, and those who have connected about my Body Earth program, right? Body is the, like the final expression of spirit, the final expression of all the energy that moves through us. It's so connected to it all, right? And so if there is anything thinking that your physical path, your material path is different or separate than your spiritual path, let's just like debunk that and let that go out the window, because how beautiful to see. And I'm guided to put these up side by side so you can see the similarity. Let's see if I can get it without the light. Yeah, okay. So there's this gorgeous number 9, and then there's this gorgeous number 9. Do you see how like there's a similarity to that, of how there's this wondrous spiritual protector with the arms up, and then on the exact number 9 card, there's the human with the arms down, palms facing up. So powerful. And this card is material harvest. Yeah. Finances. And on top of finances, though, I'm getting to be very clear, this, yes, could literally be that money is coming your way, right? That more easeful and regular flow of money is coming, right? But as you see, this is because also back to this gorgeous circle of protection, like there's been some work done to get to this point. There's been, and so a harvest is also to look at what have you sowed? What have you nurtured? What have you cultivated within the last year, even within, this last chapter? And to see, is there any doubts that will not share a harvest? If you've done the work, if you've gardened and, tilled the soil and watered it and made sure it had ample sun, and did all that stuff around it, is there still any doubt that will bring you fruit? Is there still any doubt that what you have been working on physically, so meaning like career, jobs, work, is there any doubt that what you have been doing will not share with you its harvest? And if that is the case, that's the shift that's coming. That's the shift, right? Sometimes 9 denotes that there could be a choice to start literally something new, right? And that might be that some of you are also could be thinking, going like, the thing that I've been working, the thing that I've been efforting on, is it paying off, for lack of a better word? Has all this effort, will I receive? And so this is the time to show you. So if you receive more in this next cycle, in this next month, then to trust that the work is not for naught. The work is starting to share its harvest. Okay. But if like all of a sudden you're like, Josie shared that, material harvest, like we're at this like wondrous place of having strength and transformation, and I'm not seeing it. And it's now like July, it's mid-July, it's August, nothing's coming. I have to share, it's not going to take that long. If the harvest is meant to come, it will come within the next 2 weeks, I'm kidding. But so that way, from this new moon to full moon cycle, right? Full moon is going to then ask for us to let go of the things that we do not need to bring forward in this new growth and transformation period, this new cycle. So that may be something that you will be thinking of actually letting go of. But I do get that is only pertaining to a few that will be listening to this, that the majority of you should be receiving more from the work that has been done. And what is coming through as well is that, we're in a lottery-based society. So sometimes when you feel like abundance is coming or harvest is coming, that you expect like a very large boon to kind of show you that it is. And more so, instead of thinking that like all of a sudden you're going to get, and maybe some of you will, right? I don't know like your income levels or something, but you might think that you're like, okay, I'm going to get like $50,000 and that's going to show me that I've harvested. But even think of the actual action of harvesting, right? To get this beautiful harvest from fruits and liquids and gold and all of that stuff, there's still the retrieving, there's the drawing, there's the bringing in towards the person. So right? It will think of it more like that it will come in a flow, just a steadier flow, and that it will accrue over time into then you'll be like, whoa, like this is nice to continue to receive in a steady flow instead of feeling like you're trying to like pull up one carrot and you're like, yay, I got something. So there's some more coming to that, but I meant to jump to the next card that jumped out literally in the same time, which is really neat, physical. So there's a lot of stuff like this transformation, as much as we feel that transformation is spiritual, right? This transformation is also showing up in the physical. It's showing up in the real. So, and why I say that is because, of course, another card, this is the number 6, which, has been showing up so much. 6 is a beautiful number of balance. And of course, you see material and spiritual prosperity. Oh, how beautiful is that? Remember I was sharing, like, if you think the physical, material world is separate, no, let's debunk that. And literally this card, I just realized, is completely debunking it. It's going material and spiritual. Spiritual abundance, material abundance. Prosperity. It's a beautiful word. I said that and I was told to look at the numbers 4411 of how long I've been talking. And as you see, even the view is balanced. It's harmonious. What comes up if you are standing out, looking at the harmony, seeing that you feel full, dare I say, content in what is coming and what you are receiving spiritually and materially. What comes up with that? Are you looking out? And I love this because it doesn't show the person from the face, right? It shows them from the back. The back showing that you have support. You're protected. You can have contentment. You can have ease. But it doesn't show the face. And so this time, as you clearly start to state your wants, your desires for the next 6 months, I want this, like clearly, no, and I said this in my social media post, no like floofy, frilly words and like, extra poetry, right? Clear, be clear and direct. You've done the work that you can share clarity with your spiritual team. Then what comes? And that is, I feel very much, how many times have you been content in your life? How long has a cycle of ease been? And so when Spirit's sharing like, hey, things are going to be good now, like things are going to work out for you. If you've been doing this work and following our nudges from the moon and from the sun and from the earth, and you've been listening to the earth and connecting to your body, right? Like you will be ready for this. This is all what we've been doing, is preparing you for this cycle that we're here in. So that all that hard work will start to share its fruits. All that deep connection to your team and yourself will start to share that you feel protected and you trust in your connection. And so I get a little bit of, I'm sensing the energy of like unease with ease. And so that is part of the practice as well from this new to full moon, is as things start flowing, as things start to feel actually more easy or easeful and gentle and honoring your pace, and more good comes to your life, then the kaka, as the kaka is there, right? We have to always honor the shadows. Is how are you going to deal with that? Will you allow yourself to be happy? Will you allow yourself to be joyful? That's the practice now. Do you trust harmony? Does even that word trigger? This is neat because it's not, and if you have worked with me or known or connected to my oracles for a while, like I'm not going to just talk about the light and the good shit, right? I talk a lot about seeing both. We have to honor the polarities and then continue to move beyond in our perspectives and being able to see more than two. And so when something like 6 shows up, which can be a very balancing number, right? 3 and 3, like what has been created in both planes, almost spiritual and in form, are coexisting in a really wondrous symbiotic relationship. Then there is what actually shows up in you when there is the harmony that you have wanted, the ease that you have been asking for. how can you, there's a lot of words, the word sustainable is coming, and it's interesting because a lot of time when sustainability and something that is sustainable, it means that it can maintain itself for a longer period of time, right? And I have spoken in the past at times of like debunking of it not being meaning stable, right? Not like a stable like a table, because sustainable is still honoring the movement of energy and the honoring the movement of growth and healing. So it's almost more so when I'm tapping into this word and what is being shared with this material and spiritual prosperity is how then can you access or connect to the energy that is sustainable for this ride and this more easeful rhythm that is entering and connecting to you and all that you have done. So to almost check in on what comes up energetically when you ask your heart to bring balance, to bring equilibrium to your being, to find your center, and then from there to continue to breathe and feel the rhythm of between the body and spirit. A little practice, and to keep on getting this beautiful new moon ritual of when you're connecting to that tree. You can even do that there and almost connect to the energy of the tree and feel their sustainable rhythm. And then from that, to just very clearly say out loud, I am opening to this new cycle, to this new start, and I am sharing what I want. And I am sharing and knowing that what I want will also most definitely benefit all that I'm in contact with, all that I connect with, and of course, the trees, the earth, and all that is. So removing also any separation between what you feel are your wants and how they may, like, that's selfish to have wants, and to tap into how those wants, those dreams, those desires for your life will allow you to be more again, a sustainable rhythm of your energetic being, more in equilibrium, so you can stand, walk, feed the earth with that energy, feed the community with that energy, expand your reach. And since we're all earthy now, I am guided to bring out the Plant Spirit Oracle deck to add to this. Did you see how that just flew? Oh, what an interesting card. Thank you. Wait, okay. Okay. So nature was a little bit speaky. And I'm going to share first the second one because I feel it was just kind of like an addendum to be like, yes, hemlock, if you have hemlock trees by you, they're some of the oldest trees. Many of them are actually in protected spaces in Canada. So, but how beautiful, yes, nature, connection, cycles. It's like we are connected, we are feeding each other. So your cycles of growth, your cycles of material harvest, your cycles of spiritual prosperity and material prosperity and ease and joy and happiness are feeding the greater cycles. Like, look at that, incredible. And it's so light. Oh, here. Okay. Like this connection and how the energy is flowing between you and the tree and nature. We are connected. And so what is your want will sustain also the hemlock, the earth. If this feels a hard concept to grasp, I will leave a link to my Body Earth program. It is a 4-week cycle of moving through the energy of the body and connecting it to the earth's energy and support via the 4 elements. And it is an ongoing program, which is a way that you never have to feel, oh, fear of missing out, right? So if this round of the dates don't work, you can still check it out and see what round works for you, if you are so guided. If not, if you're already going, yeah, I feel this, I get it, then to just remember that the I, the you, the we are not separate. And so you sharing your wants and receiving material and spiritual prosperity, receiving what you have been asking for and working hard for, is not selfish. It will be feeding and nurturing all that is. But what flew out of the deck to remind you, look at this awesome card, like this incredible horned nature being in the midst of poison ivy, right? No one enjoys walking into some poison ivy, right? Itchy, rash, not fun. And so you have to be aware. There's an awareness that is required. And even, I love how they say caution and consequences, right? So as much, I'm getting this now. Okay. So why nature is reminding us of awareness, like, of course, you can't be on your phone walking into a middle of the forest, disconnected from all that is around you, because you may walk into a patch of poison ivy and suffer the consequences, right? Like that's the I think the beauty of nature is that nature, there is a level of an awareness required to that. And we are nature. Our bodies are an aspect of nature. And so our bodies share with us the caution signs, right? We call it intuition or discomfort or pains in the body. And just like how a patch of poison ivy would share that as well. So what I am receiving from this is that if all of this that I've been sharing so far feels selfish, because I keep on getting that word too from some people kind of processing, and this might not be coming up in your mind, it's more so just like something that you have to work through and move through, is to become aware of that and to see like who shared that you receiving what you want in your life is bad or is wrong. And that might be some of the work that will be coming up. And of course, we always receive with responsibility. If you're a gardener or you harvest or you're a farmer, right? Like they'll for sure share with you in the practice. It's not like there's a very specific method to actually harvesting and to caring for the land so that it can continue to be fruitful and the soil itself won't spoil. You know what I mean? You can't like continue to work the land in a really challenged way and I'll have the soil actually give the nutrients needed for what is to be received and harvested. And so the awareness that you have cultivated in your meditations and in your self practices, right? That is now being showcased and shared for you to work with in a very practical way, to not just feel that the awareness cultivated is so that you can journey further within. It is also so that you can journey further outside of you, in your life, in on the earth, in your world, on your path. And so to bring the depth of how you see within yourself, the depth of how you journey and see with your eyes closed, to that is the level of awareness that this new cycle is asking of you. This is the transformation, is to journey as you would with eyes closed in your real life, in your world, with that level of care, with that level of capacity, that level of knowledge of the protocol of how you journey with spirit, to bring that into how you journey across the street towards a new prospect or a new aspect that is coming into your life. There is now no difference between how you are journeying in your life and how you are journeying in your self-work. So if you are doing in that self-work, you are moving through life true, to trust that you can also then move in your external life, right? Through your work and through family and through friends and through community, in the same truth, in the same knowing, and to the same way of honoring all that is also existing on this planet. And if you haven't journeyed, and I'm just guided to share that because I'm speaking to, because I know a lot of the people who worked with me have done, journeys within and understand what I mean with like the protocol, like the consequences. There's a lot of certain protocol to journey through time and space and consciousness, right? So it's not just like, wee, free for all, let's just go around. And so it's like, I wanted to be clear on that. If you haven't journeyed with spirit within, to it's that type of thing. There is a protocol to and a responsibility in how we journey through time, space, and consciousness. So to bring that same level of awareness into how you are journeying in the most mundane or simpler tasks that you feel you might have to go through, from work to answering emails to that. It is bringing those that spiritual strength that you have fostered and almost like stepping that into the world, and then bringing and accessing the material harvest, the physical gains, and bringing that with a spiritual aspect. It's like, I feel they're very much crisscrossing now in this transformative time. Any questions coming up? I feel I'm close to a close, but I did, I'm like having to make a decision. I always end up closing with the Moonology cards by Yasmin Boland. For they're very direct. And so they're nice for kind of a closing message. Closing message from the new moon eclipse to full moon. Additional. I'm supposed to take one more card. So funny, the first card, like I could feel the fire from it. So I'm seeing this will bring more fire or water, earth, something to balance it. Okay. Okay. Neat. So, Aries energy, hence the fire. It is time to take action. Yeah. Back to, I'm getting nudged to remind you of what, and you always can refer back to what I spoke of like each cycle is just like, what are the next 1 to 3 steps, right? The steps on your life path, on your journey that are bringing you further and further towards the harvest, prosperity, all of that, right? And so steps sometimes, because we walk so gently and easily, right, that feel they're just, it's just like a little step, it's just a little glide. And then hey, some of you might already be flying too, and you're like, I'm not even walking, so what's a step? But to be very clear that those steps that you get nudged to do, and to do with great awareness and right, that eye open, right? This is not just like free for all flow, with the eye open and knowledgeable of and weighing it between these two. Like if you saw, it's like this as above, as below. It's time to act. And the action, if that brings up a frenetic energy in you, because I felt there was like some intensity, some of you might be like, I don't know if I want to act, right? You're like, what does that mean? Then that it's to see if you can, in your new moon rituals and your connection to spirit, in this, even the ripple effects of it within the next like 4 to 5 days, is just to really ask spirit to assist in easing any intensity or excess fire that is around action, in the word action, so that it's not pressure. When it says it's time to take action, it is not meaning time is now and there's a time limit and then the time's running out. Again, back to that, is that you can still use your connection to spirituality, your connection to your body, to let you take action that feels more, taking actions towards sustainability, towards the harmony, and trusting them, but knowing that you have a part to play. Just getting a lot of like, it's like all this blessing doesn't just come without you, actually harvesting a bit, right? So there's a requirement for some action. And so if there's any uncertainty around what the action, I love now, spirit, whenever they give me this card, I get that I'm supposed to end with some sound and some light language just to close off the session. They're like, okay, time to do some adjustments, Jost. Like whatever's come up, it's like assist them on their path. So this is always my little gift to you. You're always welcome to stop now if you don't want to receive. But in this, I've asked some big asks, right? And Spirit's been asking some big asks in this, of going like, hey, like, it's time to take action. It's time to ask for what you want. It's time. So if that brings up some uncertainty, this transmission can assist in you finding that space between, and then to tap into. I will continue with the instructions after, because it will be too much information now. Okay, so just know that after the light language transmission, I will share some steps to do as directed and as guided. Okay, so if you are so guided to stay and listen, light language, ancient tongue, depends on who's coming through from my spiritual team, because I have some spiritual team that are star beings and guides, as well as some that are, from definite deep ancients from the earth. So honor the different tones. But in receiving sound, it is really nice to lie down. It's to let your body relax. And if you are sitting, to just get really comfortable so you can feel supported and just let your body relax. Because naturally, the energy that is shared within sound may create body response. And so you don't want to be already tensed, because then when like a body response happens, which might be like a twitch or like a little adjustment, because literally adjustments are required. Like that's what occurs with light language. You receive an adjustment. It's like an energetic chiropractor. So with that, if you're already tense and in a tense position, right, then when, like, let's say this bloop comes, you're then going to tighten it up even more, and you won't allow it. And so see, just like how if you did go to a chiropractor, like how would you be? Allow yourself to be like that for this transmission. Okay. And so with that, so in response for what the messages that have been shared in this oracle session tonight, this is to assist in any adjustments, to allow your body to acclimate to what has been received and what is lying ahead within this new cycle.
Kaltiti suaka kuquisetia titukua setia. Hakia setia tukua setia hikua saeteakia. Yatsetia sakia te wakia. Maya kuisita ya kuasetia suakia ita. Haikia setia kuakia ya kuatia setia te. Ika sotoa, kia sataya kua, kia sataya te kuate sentai kucha setoa keche sata kita. Mia kecha hisa, mia kacha hisa, kua kesa chetesa kitaya takia tetea. Weke chichicha seta. Yasta sete hekita etta.
Deep breaths. Feeling what is moving and allowing it to move with each breath through your body to the earth. Good.
Titi te kike te kike te kete ato tuku te akate te kato ke tita te ko tuku ke te tai ko tuku ke te tai ke tuku ke te tai ke te ko ke te tai ke tuku ke te tai ke tai.
Honor if there's any sensations coming up in joints in your body, for they're sharing that this transformation, on top of needing a deeper connection to the earth, which they're assisting with, to also then know that transformation will come and feel within the joints a lot. So to honor any tingles and sensations and not be afraid of them.
Ai che ti crete di corti che ti dica se fatti che ti orti che ti cazzi ti creti che la sa tare ti co anda che ti che ti carti che se ti carti ti corto tu arte che ti carti che tu se ti ti arte che ti carti che se ti arti che tu Aki kutu sukarete kita teta kita teta hika teta heta hika teta hete hete kuta hete kiki hete hate kiki hete kiki hete hata hika kiki hate kiki heseta ki hata hate haki hate hate hate. Wow.
Good. I'm feeling it now. I understand what they were sharing about instruction after. So allow some now deep breaths through your body, feeling the flow of energy and feeling that there will be a clarity that will come. There's almost like it's an opening. It's not sharing that there will be clarity for ever, right? It's an adjustment to allow you to access some clarity now so that you can, in the minutes that follow, or what you are nudged to do after we are completed our session and this listening, be it that you walk in nature now, be it that you ground and even lie on the floor, just ask yourself now, what do you want? Spiritually and materially in the next 6 months. Get clear on your intention. Say it out loud. Let it reverberate through the walls of your house. Speak it loud when you're in nature. Let it ground and amplify with the rocks and the trees. Share it with the soil. Share it with the food you eat. Share it with all the times that you share gratitude to your body. It is time. It's time to shift and to be clear in your intention. Whew. So final, I feel this is completely closed, like whew, hence the sound. So some final announcements of what I will be sharing in this new cycle. You'll see that every 2 weeks there is an oracle session on Wednesdays scheduled for new and full moon. And every other Monday, so I'll be live basically each week. Every other Monday, there is a meditation Monday practice where we will do either meditation or sound work to assist in personal practices with a good chat at the beginning. And I'm also very grateful that I will be adding to this channel my movement practices, which specifically, and it's neat that joints came up because I will hopefully be posting it later this week, is a daily mobility practice that has an energetic focus, even though my background as well, I studied and worked with the body and movement for over 13 years of my life. So I have that background, but this will be acknowledging and honoring the anatomy of our body, but very much more so on accessing energetic flow and allowing the energy and the growths and the shifts that we are experiencing within heart, within soul, and within spirit to be expressed within body. So that will be coming up weekly, movement practices, and that will be an ongoing library for to honor the Body Earth program. That will be an ongoing program, so that there will be regular ways and sharings of how to work with the elements in your body in physical practices, and that's open to everyone. Of course, if you are so guided, the first round of Body Earth program is commencing actually this Sunday, June 13. So another 13. Ooh, I love connections like that. So, and I'm really, really honored to be working with this program with my mentor. So, meaning that I will be sharing the teachings I've received from Earth Mother, Body, and Element connection, like the teachings that I've connected to within my lifetime. But also Nugumi Selena Mu, who is my mentor, will also be sharing in the Body Earth program a Earth Mother ceremony. So we have an elder connection as well in the program, which I'm really, really excited about. So yes, and if June 13 seems, oh my gosh, it's too soon, and I don't know if that's the action I'm supposed to take. Again, no FOMO. F that. There is the next round should be in sometime in August. I'll release the dates after I commence this round. So yes, it will be ongoing every 6 to 8 weeks. And I think that's it for me to share. Of course, if you are ever interested in journeying, in journey with spirit, or in some private work of guidance, energy medicine, all of it's listed on my website and easy to come, and you can always connect for a call and a chat if needed. So with that, may your new moon eclipse, may you enjoy this really potent time that we are in of deep, deep shifts and really bringing in more harmony now, and prepare yourself for that, and hopefully allow more of the joy, the peace, and the contentment that will come. Much love. Take care.